up, Mom and Dad? What up, Magic Munkin? What up, Laverne? Cultural Movement. What up, Safari Black? Rubber Band. What up, Broadway? My man YZ just joined. Peace, peace.
What's good? What's good?
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. You know how I do it.
No doubt. If Go ahead.
How are you?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you as well, Aki. I love that picture in the background.
I wonder who that is.
I don't know. I don't know. But it sure is fresh. I like it. I like that. That's real hot right there. Wish I had one of those.
Oh yeah, you don't have one?
I probably have. I had a couple of them somewhere in the basement somewhere. I gotta go look for it now that you got it up on the wall. I need to get instead of that. Well, no, I gotta have that. My son did that, so
Right.
I need to add that to the collection, to the wall collection right there.
No doubt, no doubt. While everybody is logging on, tell me briefly, man, how you've been maintaining with all the craziness going on, the COVID, the protests in
Man,
Atlanta. What's going on with you?
um, I just stay masked up, man, and I work. I don't let it, too much bother me too much. I mean, I'm not really like a crowd person anyway.
Right,
So, you know, it was kind of weird that Atlanta opened up everything early. We were one of those cities that kind of, the governor just went, hey, and the mayor was totally against it here, and so were a few other people. But anyway, they did it anyway. And
right,
when I go in Atlanta now, like the streets look full, man. Like, I mean, the highways are full again.
right,
Now the restaurants are, they try to social distance or whatever. But to be honest with you, man, if we would have just slowed down a little bit and just, let this, it would have been less deaths. It would have been a lot less problems.
right.
A lot less sick people, man. We over what, 2 million now? Over 2 million in the country. I mean, in 200,000 over 200,000 deaths already in the country. It's just like that's ridiculous.
Right. Absolutely.
Especially when it could have been avoided,
Right.
But you know, I don't want to get too into it because we start talking about NWO and all that, and
Right.
people want to hear me talking about the New World Order and their ideas, but but they've been feeding this idea for a long, long time. And I think this was a great opportunity to test that idea. And what better place than Black Atlanta when you want to regentrify and clean up the city, quote unquote, clean the city up. And then maybe I shouldn't be saying this on, me when we start talking,
Right. It's
and
all good.
I don't know who's listening. But anyway, to make a long story short, or at least seem to be short, Pence came here twice. And when he came here, I was like, yo, when does a vice president come to Atlanta back to back, and for what? Is our governor that important, really? But you realize what they did. Our governor's in their pocket. He does exactly what they want to do. He's like, look, we need to open that city up. And that's exactly what that idiot did. He joined the other idiot and opened the city up. And I know a few people who've lost some folks because of it.
No
And
doubt.
it could have been avoided. Aki is all I can, it's all I can say.
Right. Looks like we got some legends in the building. We got Cutmaster DJ Cool V, Broadway,
Hey, now that's my G right there, man. I
Prince
love.
Low.
Hey, yo, thanks for putting that book out, Aki. Just Cool V is definitely one of my heroes, man. Back when I was still up that way in Jersey and back and forth from New York, I remember a few times Biz had invited me to his crib out in, I believe it's Irvington. And you can correct me if that's you can correct me if that's wrong, Cool V, if you're still listening. Um, but he had all these records in the basement, Aki. Like I'm talking about records everywhere, and a DJ setup. And that's when I knew because I didn't know Biz was a DJ before that. And then I realized then that he was more than just a DJ. He was an MC. He was a producer. He was one of those multifaceted dudes. And Cool V is just as multifaceted as we can all see now. Like, I mean, all our Jersey heroes, man, coming out and doing what they got to do. Another one, Do It All, you know, doing this thing. I mean, and I, you know, I love to see the brothers out there, you know, in the Newark, Irvington area doing their thing and representing for Jersey. You know, real talk.
Absolutely. Well, today we are here on episode 87, History Lessons with the legendary YZ. Today, I did a little research, and his sophomore album, The Ghetto's Been Good to Me, turns 27. Does it seem like 27 years, YZ?
No. Well, it really doesn't. However, you know, I'm really going to seem old in a minute. My son is 29. And if you look at the Ghetto's Been Good to Me postcard that we sent out, it had my son on it saying, "Welcome to the ghetto." And he was 2 years old in that picture with a bandana on. And that's his piece, right? Actually, it's a bunch of pieces of his in this room here. But that's one of his pieces there. But 29 years old. So yeah, I guess it is. It's 27 years old. It's hard to believe.
So during this episode, I want you to take us back to where you were at mentally, what was going on in the studio, what things that we may not know that you can share with us. Just take us back all the way. I want to go back to 1990. You released your debut album. It did its thing. After that album, where was YZ at mentally after the deal with Tough City?
To be quite frank with you, man, it was kind of in the same place, except that I just felt like I had made a huge mistake. I had a business partner at the time. He and I had owned this record company, and when Aaron called, he wanted to move on that. He wanted to make that happen, and you know, I didn't want to go against him. I was just like, if you think that this is the best move, plus he's older than me. You know, I was 17 at the time, 18 maybe, and so I went along with it, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But hindsight 2020. And then when we finally got out of that deal, Aaron attached himself to me. So I had moved to New York, and I was going in Music Factory. I might have told you the story. I was going to Music Factory, which was on Broadway between 42nd and 43rd at the time. And I walked in the store, and the guy behind the counter was like, "Yo, YZ, we sell a lot of your music in here." I was like, "Really?" And I guess the owner heard this in the background. So this old Jewish dude comes out the back. He's like, and excuse my acting because I'm not an actor. Like, YZ, come to the back. So anyway, we go into this little closet. I'm talking about, it's his office. He got the security cameras in there and everything. And we are literally about this close to each other. I can't smell his breath, but I could feel his breath on my, not really on my face, because I was trying to listen to him, but I could feel it. So anyway, to make a long story short, he was like, "Hey, I want you to meet me at this address." When I got there, I realized that I was going into the cold chilling offices. And
Word.
not to meet Fly Tie, though, because that's cold chilling was Fly Tie to me. So I'm like thinking, why am I not meeting Fly Tie? But instead, what he did was he took me to the other side of the office, to the other partner of the hidden partner of Cold Chillin', which was this Jewish cat, Lenny Fishelberg. And Lenny and I and and Manny sat in his room, and Lenny was like, "Hey, Manny likes you a lot. I want to give you a deal." And I said, "Hey, well, just so you know, I'm not just going to be signing and any deal with anybody like that. I've been through that, been there, done that. I'm not going to do that." And he was like, "No," he said, "YZ," he said, I don't expect you to do that at all. Why don't we just start with a little single deal? And if it does well, we'll see what happens." So he gave me a little bit of money. I went into INS Studios with my man Beta, who I was living with in Brooklyn at the time. And he and his girlfriend, we went into the studio not knowing what the hell we were going to do, for real. And Return of the Holy One came out of it. And the rest is kind of history there. Like we did Holy One. I loved it. I was like, yo, this don't sound like anything else. Like it don't feel like nothing that's out right now. Don't you know, our whole demeanor was just like, yo, like we really put our whole energy in this and did it in a night. And we just was lucky enough to have this dude named Rock, who was our engineer, Cole Rock. And he felt us. He understood. He was just like, "Yo, I'm really feeling this, YZ. Like this could be the thing right here." And so we recorded it. I took it to Lenny. I guess I could have took him some real ass music right then, and he would have probably said, "Hey, let's give it a try." But he was like, "Yo, this is real different. I like this. You sure this is what you want to put out?" And I was like, "Man, this is the essence right here. This is what I'm feeling right now. I don't know what it's gonna do,
Right.
but that's what I'm feeling." They put it out. We shot a video for it right down the street in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. We did it ourselves. It was gritty. It was black and white for the most part. Nothing looked like it at the time when we were doing it. And I think that was like 92. And BET took to it. It was like #1 on BET for like 10 weeks. And I was just like, yo, this is it right here. This is it. So when we went back to the table to talk, I was just like, look, man, I'm not gonna do just a regular deal. If you want me, we're gonna have to do a production agreement. And they did. They gave me a glorified production agreement, and we did 720. And Manny brought in another partner, another Jewish dude named Abe Gabe. Both of these dudes had mega bread, yo, and mega power. And that's really what between them and Pee Wee Kirkland, that's where I got my upbringing, and I learned a lot from all three of them. I learned how to be a businessman from Manny and Abe. I took really after Abe because Manny was flashy. Manny was one of those old Jewish dudes with white hair, gold everywhere, young girlfriends. He was a trick. But Abe was a dude who, if you pass him on the street, he looked like a nobody. Like he looked like, but we were in Brooklyn and he would go, "Hey, YZ, quiet as kept. See all that storefront property over there? All that, and I'm talking about we right in downtown Brooklyn. See all that storefront property over there? I own all of that. And I'm going to drive you through Brooklyn and I'm going to show you some of the other properties I have." That's why I'm in real estate right now, because I looked at this dude and I was just like, this quiet little dude is stacking his bread and not talking to anybody. And anyway, so that's what happened. We ended up getting a deal. I got my first office on Wall Street, and then we moved to Broadway, 594 Broadway, which so happened to be the same building as the Source. And I didn't know it when we moved in, but we were on the 9th floor, they were on the 7th floor. And then we started recording this album. And, at the time, because I was in the same building as the Source, everybody came through the office. Everybody. I mean, if you came to the Source, you came to see YZ for the most part. And, I could start dropping names, but they know who they are. I mean, it's not many people that we love in hip hop today that I haven't had some back and forth with, or, you know, I'm walking in an office, they walking out, or vice versa. And I don't want to get into names because that don't really matter. What matters is that I'm proud of all those dudes, man. They, you know, they stuck it through and did their thing.
Right.
And anyway, to make a long story short, that's where I was. We recorded that album. I was a little upset with them because, you know, we were trying to really create, like, I wanted to create an album around Return of the Holy One. That's what my head was. So we did things like Acid Rain, and we did things like Second to Nobody, and Life Under Pressure. And really, if it was up to me, the whole album would have went there. And Pee Wee stayed in my ear every day because my daily routine was get in my car, go pick up Pee Wee, and we made it through the day, whatever we needed to do. And I honestly say, and I hate to say this to anybody that was a true YZ fan, I lost myself in that because I was trying to please him. I was really trying to please him. I was trying to, and instead of pleasing him, I should have just went with my first inclination.
Right.
And because I was trying to please him, we started making records like, you know, At the Bar, and Headed for the Barbershop. And even though I was trying to please him, Pee Wee's a hard brother to please. Like, he just like, so anyway, we get done with the album. And Pee Wee's like, yo, I don't think you have a single yet. I don't think you have a single. And I said, huh? What about Life Under Pressure? That shit is hot. Like me, I would. Return of the Holy One took them by storm. Look at every video out right now. They biting us. They doing us right now. Das Effects is doing us. No disrespect to the Das or none of them dudes. All of that underground dark hoodie, that's us. And so I was like, yo, we need to run with that. He was like, I don't think you have a single yet. And I was just like, all right. So look, remember what I said? I said, I used to pick him up. So we way out Mount Vernon somewhere. I pulled a car. I said, you drive. You drive. He's like, huh? I said, I don't feel like driving no more. I'm gonna write your single right now. He's like, stop playing. I said, no, you drive. So I started grabbing like tissue out the side of, you know, the little compartment on the side, and writing on tissue. And I was joking, thinking he was gonna get mad at me. I said, all right, Pee Wee, what about the Ghetto's Been Good to Me? And he was like, yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was joking. I was literally, family, listen to the lyrics. I was stick 'em? Really? That's not me. I was just like, yo, I was really on some, I'm trying to throw this shit in his face so he can get mad at me so I can go do Return of the Holy One Part 2.
Right.
But he loved it. And mind you, I didn't have a beat. I didn't have any music for it. I didn't know what we was doing. I was literally I wrote that shit on tissue paper and was just like trying to really make him angry at me. And instead, he was like all happy and I was caught in between a rock and a hard place because now I gotta fucking go record this record.
No.
Anyway, so Pee Wee went and saw Fly Tie, and he was like, what about the track masters? Let's go get the track masters and let's see if they'll take this record on. And I had already known Tone and Pope. I'd known them already. I remember Tone from back when he was
Red Hot Lover.
Redhead Lover Tone, that's right. And so I was just like, yeah, I love the track masters. Let's see what they do. We go into, I think it was Chung King or some studio down where Chung King used to be over there. And I think it was Chung King. That's where we went. We went to Chung King. And these four dudes created that beat. To be quite frank with you, I don't want to say this. I hated the beat.